we are able to see the database and yeah, on top of that, we can able to write a queries. Okay, yeah, and we will see a few more topics, something like null constraints, nulls, and like how to update a data and how to delete and how to use top and min and max, and we will see something like count, average, and some how we can able to do all these using SQL. And already we have seen like, right, and we will see something like alias, aliases, and we will see like post that we will see joins, and post that we will see union, how to do the union. We will see like one by one, step by step in detail. Okay, and then opposite if we have some time, and we'll see something like the group by having and all we will see. First let me go with null. uh, Here, right, in table, right, like as we discussed, like whatever the data we are displaying, sometimes in few fields there will be some data. Sometimes we can't see the data in few fields we can see the data, and few fields we can't able to see the data. That means in that particular field, it will populate as a null. Null means something like there is no value for that particular field. For the particular field, there is no value. It shows something, it indicates something like that. Let's execute one. And if you see here, you can see something like a null. And for this particular product ID, there is no weight. It means there is no weight. And like whenever you mention, like whenever we are creating a table, right, during that time we have to specify a schema in the sense like what type of data it needs to load in that particular field. For example, like I have something like the product ID, and in product ID I want only integer values. Integer in the sense int. I want only integer values in this particular product ID. So I need to define this data type here. And if you want to allow the null values, then you have to specify something like a null next to the data type. If you don't want to allow the nulls, then you have to specify something like a not null. So what it will do, it will not allow the null values. It will not allow the null values. And like where we will use this not null, right? Whenever you are using some primary key, and whenever you want some unique, like whenever you want some distinct data, and in primary keys, right? In most of the cases, there should not be a null. If you find null, then obviously there will be a duplicate in the target system. So it should not be a null value in the primary. So what we will do, we will put something like a not null on the primary constraint. So only we will get the unique values, and in without null values. Okay, and you have to define. That's what we are calling this as a structured data. This holds a structured data, because in this field if you define something like integer, and only it will allow the integer values, it won't allow something like a string or some boolean. It won't allow those values, only it will allow the integer. That's what that will call it as a schema. We have to define a schema while creating a table. I will show you like while creating the table how to define the schema. Okay, and here, right, if you define something like a null, then uh, it will, or like only the null. If you define null while creating the schema, right, then it will allow the null values. If you won't define, then it will not allow. Okay, let me go is here, and something like you want to find out like what all the null values are exist in this weight field. Just what I will do, select a star from product where weight, weight, equals to, just I'll put is null, where weight is null. If I run this, right, only displays only null values. See, we have around 97 null values in weight field. Only nulls. You can see. Only nulls. Nothing was there. Only nulls. Okay. Like this, you can identify. And see, 97 null values are exist in this field. And I don't want, I want something like not null. I'll put something like here, hyphen hyphen 97. 97 null values we have, right? Now let me select this, enter. Here just I will add not. Let me run this. Okay, we have around 198 not null value fields in this particular weight column. See, the null values will be ignored. So like this, we can able to identify how many null values are exist in that particular field and how many not null values are exist, and like what is the root cause, why the null values we are getting in this particular field, and on which product ID we are getting, and from where that particular product ID is coming. Like that, we need to identify the null values in real time scenario. Whenever we find some null values, we need to find out the root cause as well, because sometimes whenever there was some data type mismatch happens, right, during that time also the null values will be displayed. For example, here I have added something like the string, and I like here I have added something like integer, and I am passing something like a string data. So the string data will not be placed in the integer, so obviously it will display as a null value. So sometimes these kind of issues also we will get, and just like we need to take that null value and we need to cross check that where that particular product ID is coming from, and like whether the null value is exist in that source table or not. If that is not exist, then like where it is getting as a null, where it is converting as a null, that we need to find out and figure it out, and we need to resolve that. Okay, like that we need to resolve in real time scenario. This is all about the null. And for example, we have something like a update. We have something like a update. And what is the use of update? See, update is mainly used to update a specific value. To update a specific value. For example, I want to update all these null values with some value. For example, I want to update all these null value with some value, some random value. Or I want to update with 0, for example. Wherever the weight is null, right? I want to update that as a 0. What I will do? Update table name. This is the schema and this is the table name. We need to select this, put it here, and set. Set in the sense like which field you want to update. I want to update weight field. Weight field with what you want to update. I want to put that as a 0 and post that, and you have to add some condition like in which particular field you want to add. I want to add where weight is null. Wherever the weight is null, that field must be updated with 0. Just I want to run this. Now what I will do, I will run this. The conflict FMCG. Check constraint was there on top of this. Okay, we will do it in another field. Or else we'll take size here. Okay, we will place a specific product ID in that case. Instead of this, right? We will take one product ID and we'll place on that. Only we'll update a specific value. We'll take where product ID product ID equals to, just I want to update this, right? Where I'll place this size here. Yeah, we can see one row got affected. Now let me display this size. Previously it was something like a null. Now it must be updated with 0. Now what we will do, select star from where product ID equals to 707. See, now previously it was something like a null. Now this particular field got updated with 0. Like this we can able to update. Like this we can able to update. Or else like I think here let me do it on here. Let me try on this field because previously there was some check constraint on that. Yeah, here we don't have any check constraint. See, now 83 rows got affected. Wherever it finds something like a null, right? All rows was affected with 0. And if I run this, we will get 0 now. See, now we are getting 0. Because everything was updated with 0. Then that will be something like a, like everything, all the fields was updated with wherever it finds null, all the fields was affected with 0. Like this we can update. It is something like a one time, unlike wherever you mention something like a where class where something like the product ID equals to some ID, then only that particular field will be updated. And whenever you want to update with based upon some specific condition, something like is null, wherever you have some null, you want to update that particular value with a 0, then we have to use this kind of scenario. Or else if you want to update, when see for example, and you are working in like Hyderabad, and you move from Hyderabad to Bangalore, and like we want to update your location in database from Hyderabad to Bangalore. Then what we will do? Update employee table, set location equals to Bangalore and where employee ID equals to XYZ. So only that particular field, the location field will be updated from Hyderabad to location in the employee table, something like that. Okay, only that particular field will be updated. Okay, and like your something like, for example, your company got swapped from one location to another location, and previously it was exist in high tech city, and now it is moved from high tech to somewhere outside the city, and like it was some different location. So if you want to update that in your profile, then obviously the data team will what they will do, like where the Hyderabad location Hyderabad is there, right? Only that particular field will be updated with some XYZ value, something like that. So whoever working in Hyderabad location, all the values will be reflected with that particular ID, the location ID, something like that. Okay, like this we have to update the field. Okay, and whenever you want to change some data, like you want whenever you want to update some data, for that it is mainly used. Okay, and we have something like a drop, and we have something like you may get in interview something like what is the difference between drop, truncate, and delete. You may get this interview like this kind of question in interview. See, whenever you run something like a drop command, right, it will drop entire table, it will drop entire table, it will drop entire table, and like a table and the data drop, it will remove entire table and data, everything will be removed. And in truncate, The schema exists. The schema exists. Schema will be there. Schema in the sense the fields and all will be there. Table name and schema will remain as it is. Data will be truncated. Data will be deleted. And we have something like delete. This particular delete is used to delete a specific field. To delete a specific field, this delete command is used. The SQL query will be the delete statement is used to delete a specific command. I will show you like how to delete, how to drop, truncate, and delete. I will create one table and I will show you on top of that. And for now, we will delete one row. I will show you like how to delete a specific field based upon the condition. For example, if you want to delete anything, right, you have to write a SQL query, something like delete from, and you want to delete some id, for example. Let me create some table. Let me create some table. Create table. Just I will put something like emp, and here I will put some id int, and yeah, let me create this. See, let me explain like what I'm doing. Here I'm trying to create a new table. Okay. And here what I'm doing, this is a create statement. Create table. And what I'm creating here, I'm creating something like a employee table. Employee table. And here, whatever the fields is required in this particular table, I have added those fields. Something like I want ID field and I want first name, last name, and age. I want these four fields. And here, this ID must act like a primary key, and it should be in integer format. And like the first name and last name must be in varchar, and age must be in integer values. Okay, I have defined the schema something like this. And now let me execute. Yeah, I have executed the command, completed successfully. Now let me try to read this. Select star from emp. Let me run this. See, ID, first name, last name, and age. The syntax created successfully. Like the schema has been created successfully. Now we don't have any data here. Now we have to insert a data into this. For that, we have something like a insert into query. Insert into. And like in which table you want to insert. I want to insert into employee table. Employee table. And here, what are all the fields you have? You can specify the fields, and without specifying the fields also, you can able to write the data. But like if you specify the data field, right, then the data will be placed in that particular field. Some data mismatch will not happen. Just I am specifying the fields. Just I'm place. Yeah. Pause specifying the fields. You have to type something like a values, and here you have to add the list of values. Let me give something like 1 comma some, I will give some name, James. Just I'm giving random data. Hmm. Okay. I have added some random numbers, right? And now let me insert this data. See, you can see something like the 5 rows got affected. The 5 rows got affected means 5 fields, five rows got inserted into the employee table. First, let me run the select query. Select a star from the employee table. Now it will show like we can see like all 5 fields now. Now, first let me drop the data. First, let me try to delete some data. Delete from employee where id equals to 5. I want to delete this table. Okay, I want to delete this id. Now let me run this. See, one row got affected means like we have inserted 5 fields. In that, only one row got affected. Now let me execute. You can see, right? You can see only this particular field got deleted. Okay, now let me use truncate table name emp. Just I want to truncate this table. If I run this truncate, all the data will be truncated. Data will be truncated, not the schema remain as it is. Let me select this employee. See, the id, first name, last name, age, all these the schema is exist. Only the values got deleted. Entire data will be removed if you use the truncate statement. And we have something like a drop. Let me insert once again. Yeah, 5 rows got affected. And let me select this employee once again and see. You can see the data, right? Now we have seen the delete and we have seen the truncate. And now let me drop table name. Let me execute. Say the command completed successfully. Now let me try. It will show the invalid object name. See, invalid object name because the table is not exist. It will drop the schema and as well as the data. That is the beauty of these commands. Delete will delete only the specific record. Truncate will truncate full data, not the schema. Schema will remain as it is. And drop. It will drop the data and as well as the schema. That is the difference between these 3 tables. Any doubts in this so far? In update and delete? Any doubts, any queries, any questions?
No, Anil.
Yeah, it's clear, right?
It's clear, right?
Yeah. Okay, fine. Super. Now we have something like top. Why the top is required? Why the top is required? See, we are working on database. In database, like we are like we are not only one person. Like we are working with team, and like multiple people will be there. Assume like 10 people working on same database, 10 people are working, and 10 people are have connected to same database, same server, and they are doing some transformations, and they are doing some work on by executing some SQL queries. Okay, and say this compute and everything will be shared to these 10 people, and like whatever the compute you have added to this server and to this database, same will be shared across these 10 users, and like whatever the maximum capacity, that much will be utilized to these 10 users. For example, I have something like 1 crores of records once a year. Assume like I have once a year of records. And now, see, like just I want to see like how the data looks like. Others assume like you have something like 10 crores of records in one of the table. And like parallelly 10 people are working. 10 people are working. And just you want to fetch the data and you want to see how the data looks like in each and every field, and like whether the integer or like do you have any random values, and like what type of data is exist, you want to cross check. And whenever I put something like a select the star, what it will do, it will select the full data. It will select full data. Then there will be an impact
Anil,
on.
sorry for inconvenience. Actually, I
Yeah,
have a doubt in a update version. Can we do
yeah.
some can we add some lines or rows in update version?
Can you, can do you want to add lines and rows mean?
Uh, I mean, like a product ID or something else like that. Can
Yeah,
we
here
add?
we, no, here we have space. See, what this update is doing. See, first we are updating on specific table, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and post is in next line. What it is doing? We are setting the value. What we need to
Mhm.
update in that particular field, right?
Okay.
And post that. And if you won't specify like where, right? This is going to
Mhm.
reflect in all fields.
Okay. Okay.
Whenever you specify this where clause, only in that particular row, in this field, this value will be reflected.
Just values or like numbers are can we reflect, right?
Yeah, that's what. Like whenever you
Okay.
specify only this where class, see where the product ID is something like one. In one, like wherever the product ID value is one, right? Only in that particular row, you want to reflect some value. In that
Okay. We can
instance,
change some values or like something, right?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you have
All
to
right.
specify where only. Then only it will affect only that particular row.
If we want some add like some weight on the rows or columns,
Hmm.
can we do that?
Rows or columns, in a sense. See,
Like
always you have to
some
remember.
employee. Just now
Uh,
you said like an employer some idea like that. No, we I
uh,
want to add like my ID card number. So what we can do?
no, that's what I'm saying. Here, you have the product ID, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and assume this is your unique column. Unique.
Okay.
Always the product will be unique, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there will not be duplicates. And for each and every product, they will give some ID, and that will be the product ID. Like whenever you are doing
Okay.
in groceries, right? Like whenever they
Mm.
want, what I can say, like they want to do transaction, right? Just they will type that product ID, and they will add it into the invoice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and here, right? I want to update this price, for example. This particular product, I want to update this price, and this was something like this was updated long back, and like the prices got increased, and I want to update this price. Okay,
Okay.
now if you want to update this particular product ID price, then you have to go to this table first. Like what is in which table you want to update? I want to update
Okay.
this sales
Select the
product.
particular table in the rows or columns, and we need to update the particular column or row, right?
Yes, yes,
With the number or something like that.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what you have to use this where clause.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
here what I will do, like I want to update this price, right? Now what I will do, I will tell this table in which table I want to update. Yeah, in product table I want to update, and post this. in which field I want to set, I want to update. And like in list price, right? I will put here as a list price. And
Okay.
what should be the value for this product, right? I have to put this value.
Like a
Here I have
3,000 you want to do.
1431. Now I want to update with 1500.
1,500 or
Yeah, I
something.
have placed the 1500. Now, where the size, let me remove this size. And now I want to add in which product ID? Product ID
It's a 680.
equals to 680.
Yeah.
Now, this particular product ID, for this product ID, the site, last price,
Yeah.
right?
Executing.
List price. List price will update it with 1500. Let me run this. See, one row got affected now, right?
Yeah.
Now, uh, here, just I will select this product ID, or else like let me select the full table. Anyhow, it will be sorted in this ascending, right? Yeah, now you can see that this got updated with 1500
Yeah.
on
1,500. Okay.
680. And in case if I won't select, this, if I won't put this where class, right? Let me show you that as well. What will be the impact? See how many rows it got affected.
Yeah.
290, no, 290 rows,
295.
right? This is not at all good, right? See, all rows
I
got affected
understand.
1500.
Yeah, I
That's
understood.
what we need to use this where clause to update
Understood.
specific row. And
Yeah,
always you
yeah.
have to remember this, will call it as a row. This is row.
Yeah.
This is a row. And these are the columns.
Columns.
Okay, this is a row and these are the columns.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
All right.
is
Thank
it
you.
clear?
Understood. Thank you, Anil.
Okay, fine. Okay. Now we have something like a top, right? As I mentioned, like multiple users will work on same database, and whenever they work on same database, what will happen? And like whatever the compute was assigned, allocated to this particular database, that will be shared across all these users. And whenever we write something like select star, right? What it will do? It will read all data, full data, and it will display to you. And this is going to impact the performance for others as well, and whenever you want to validate, right, we have to specify some limit. We have to specify some limit. What this limit will do, only will be displayed. For example, assume you have some 10 crores records. You have like now you can see something like this is a sample one, so we got some less data. Assume like you have some 10 crore records, and you want to see cross check how the data looks in each and every field. Based upon that, you have to plan in target system. Now what I will do here, I will put something like top 100 star from this particular table. Where is that? This sales product. From this table, I want to select only 100 fields. Let me run this. See, only it is selected 100 rows, not more than that. For that, like much compute is not required. See, instead of selecting 10 crore records, we can select only 100 records just for validation purpose. That is not at all required. And on top of that, if you want to do some analysis, you can do that. Or else, if you want to select something around like only 1,000 records, you can do that. That is not a big data. 1,000 is not a big, and even 10,000 is also not a big in database side. Unlike in lakhs and crores, right? There will be an impact on performance. There will be an impact on performance. So always we have to keep it in our mind. We should not select a full data. Obviously, there will be impact. Others can't able to utilize, and sometimes your mission will get hang because what it will do, it is reading like it is connected to a cloud, right? And it will read the data and it will display in your local machine, right? It will use the local machine compute as well. And if you are using some virtual machine, right, there will be a impact for others as well. The virtual machines are shared across multiple users, so there will be impact on virtual machines as well. The virtual machines will get slowed down. Okay, always we need to keep it in our mind. We should not use something like star. Always we have to select the limited amount of data by using something like a top class. Okay. Okay. And we have something like min and max. Min and max. What this min and max will do, it is something like a minimum price and maximum price. And you want to identify something like in standard price, what is the lowest, which for which product is having the least price in the standard price, standard cost. Select min of standard cost from sales product. Yeah, you can see something like 0.8565. This is the least price in standard cost. This is the least price. And like you want to find something like the maximum. And let me copy here. And I want to find something like max. Just I will put max. And this is the maximum price. Let me copy this. And I will place it here. And I want to figure it out where this field was accessed. Right? Now, Control C and where standard cost in, I will put these two into this. Here I will add something like a star. See, for these product IDs, and if I see the standard price, and for 893 for this field, we have around like a 0.559. For this field, we have like something like the patch kit and 8 patches. Further, we have something like a least price and something like the road 150 something. For these 49, for 51, 50, 52, 53. And for these products, we have something like 2171.2942. This is the standard price for all these products. Something like this we can able to identify. First, we have to execute this min and max, and post that we need to pick those values and we need to place it in another query to get the actual data. Okay, to figure it out, further it is used. To figure it out, further it is mainly used. Any doubts in this? Min and max? What this min do? It will set the minimum value in that particular field. And max, it will set the maximum value in that particular field. And just put select max of field and select minimum of field. Something like that. Okay? Okay. And we have something like count, average, and sum. Okay, this we call it as a window function. Okay, and here, right, this the count, the average, sum. And always we know, like if you want to find what is the count of this table, for example, you want to find out the count of this table. What is the count of this table? Assume this product ID, right? Like whenever we execute this product ID, we are getting something around here you can see something around 295, and you want to take the count. Select count star from sales LT product. Just will place it here. See, you are getting something like 295. And if you want to, like here you are getting something like no column, right? Instead of that, you want to display some name here. Just what I will do, alias as product. Just I will add it here and then I will run this. See, something like a product. Now I want to place it as something like a table as well. I will add something like a table here. See, for product table, the count is something like 295. Okay. And like this, we can take a count of a table. And you want to take something like the average of the table, like average of that particular field, for example. Like here we have used something like min and max, right? Similar way, we can use something like average also. Select AVG. AVG of standard cost from sales LT product. See, this is the average cost of this particular table, that particular field in the product table. This is the average of this particular field. Like this, we can take the average of the table. And if you want to sum, okay, you want to sum of the fields. Like here, right, in average, you can take, you can add some condition also. Condition in the sense like average of color, something black or red or something like that. You can add. You want to take the specific condition where color equals to, just I will put red. I want this average. Yeah, you can take the average. See, this is the average for this color. Okay, and here instead of average, I want sum. What is the sum for this particular red field? Just I will put sum here. It will give the sum of the standard cost. See, this is the sum for this particular red, right? With red color, right? This is the total standard price cost for all the products. Not only for this, like you can put, you can select some other field, like whichever the field you want to filter, right? By based upon some condition, you can put, you can take average for black as well, or not only on this field, you can take on some other field as well. See, this is the sum for this particular condition. Like this, you can take the sum, the count, and average. You can place like however you want. Okay. Okay. And we have something like operate, like already we have seen, right? And we have something like the alias. What this alias will do, like alias basically, like whenever you want to replace that particular field with some other field, right? Further, this alias will be used. For example, I'm having something like the standard cost, and for this standard cost, I'm getting something around 38636, and here it is not displaying any column here. It is not displaying any column. And like for example, here what I am doing, I am selecting some fields, right? Let me add some. Here I can see. Let me write some select query. select the product ID as PRD underscore ID and name as PRD name, comma, product number as PRD underscore and color as CL, or just I gave some random comma. Okay, where I want to select all this, just I want to select from the sales product. Now what it will do for these, whatever the fields you are selecting, right? For that, the columns will be replaced with column names will be replaced with the alias name. Alias is something like a temporary name. For example, like whatever the field names, whatever the field names you are getting from the source side, like that, like you can't say something like the same fields will be exist in the target side as well. We can't select the same fields will be exist in target side because always the business side the field names will be quite different. Like this you can see in source side, the PRD ID and the PRD name and the PRD NO and CLR, something like you can see something like a source side, and you want to make that with the, you want to map that field name with the some standard name. In that case what we will do, like we will use something like the alias. What this alias will do, this particular field name will be replaced with the actual name. Like see, if you want to map, whenever you want to perform some union, and during that time you can't able to do, because if the field name matches then only you can able to perform the union, or else you can't able to do something like that. Like whenever the field name matches then only the data will be loaded into the target system, else the data will not be loaded because the field name will be mismatch happens. Instead of replacing that source side, like we will use something like a alias. This alias what it will do, it will replace the field name with a temporary name. Unlike in table the name will remain as it is, like whatever the name you are using, right, the name will remain as it is, but temporarily, like whenever you are performing some transformation, during that time only it will be used, and post that it will be cleared. Okay, let me run this. See, I'm getting something like a PRD ID and PRD name and PRD number and CLR. And whatever the values are exist in the source, that will remain as it is. We are not touching that. Just we are renaming the field names. If you want to rename these fields, right, for like for temporary basis, while you are loading some data, during that time, if you want to replace that, for that we can use the alias. And these alias will be used in the joining conditions as well, because what why we use this alias in joining conditions, like if you want to use, and if the same field was exist in the both the tables, then we will get something like the ambiguous error. To skip that error, we will specify this alias and we will point this particular field needs to come from that particular table, something like that. I will show you that in upcoming session. Joins, right, we will have different types of joins. Why these joins are required, why these joins are required? See, whenever you want to combine two tables data, then you have to uh, do this join. Unlike in joins, also we are having different types of join. Something like a inner join and right join, left join, and like outer join. Something like this, we will have different types of joins: inner, left, right, and full. We will have self join. In interviews, in few interviews, right, they will ask like what's the difference between the self join and inner join, something like that they will ask. Okay, We will go one by one. Okay, and these joins are mainly used to join two tables. Like for example, and you have something like the order table, and customer table, and sales table. Okay, and here you want to generate one report on the basis of these three tables. You want to generate a report on basis of three reports. And now, like what you will do first, this will customer will become as a master table. This will become a master table. Now what we will do, and like whatever the fields required from this table, we will select first something like this. Select required fields. I will just let put something some icons. Whatever the fields required, you will put over there and post that customer from customer table from customer table and post this. Like we have to put some join here. Join with another table, right? We have placed some customer table. Now I want to join with an order table. Join with order table on what basis you want to join on customer id, on customer id equals to customer id. Now what it will do, it will join based upon the customer id, and the data will be displayed here. And wherever the customer id table and the order tablet, wherever it matches and based upon your join, the data will be listed. And post this again, you want to add another join, just we'll put something like left, and we will add something like the sales table. And here we will add, here we have order table, right? Just we'll put something like order id equals to order id. In real time, in most of the cases, we will use the left join only, because always we need to keep this data along with the matching data must be displayed, something like that. Okay, like this will perform the join, and we will see like how this join works. See what this inner join will do. Inner join, like wherever you find something like the matching data in the sense, like wherever it identifies the customer ID equals to customer ID, like only the matching data will be joined, only the matching based upon the condition. Okay, like wherever it finds some data, right? Only that particular data will be displayed here. Matching data only displayed here. And left means all the data from the left side and the matching data from the right side. All the data from the left side and matching data from the right side. For example, how it works, here we have something like the order is something like the left here, right? This it assumes something like this is the left table and this is the right table. And now what it will do, it keeps all this data, and whatever the data is matching from the right side, only it will take only that data. That we will call it as a left join. And we have something like a right join. What it will do, it will keep all the data from the right side, and whatever the data is matching from the left side, only that data will be, it is going to select. Only that data will be selected. And we have something like full, right? Full means there is no matching, like it will select whole data from the both the tables. It will select both the data from the like all the data from the both the tables. And we have something like a self join, like whenever you want to perform some join within a table, for that this self join will be used. This self join will be used. Let me take one by one. Let me take one by one. Like already we have some tables here. Let me take the customer table. Select star from sales customer. Okay. And we have to check like whether the fields, like whenever you find the common field from the both the tables, right, then only you can able to perform the join. If the field was not exist, if the data is not matching, then you can't able to display the data. Okay, for example, you can see something like this, right, the customer id, and here also you can see something like a customer id. On the basis of these two, right, I want to perform some inner join. I want to perform some inner join on the basis of customer ID. Okay. Now what I will do, select. I want the name style, comma, and I want something like the company name, comma, and I want the email address. Just I took some random, and I want the address type as well, and the modified date. I will take this. From which table I want to perform the join. First, like I want to perform the join on sales LT customer. Let me run my next line, customer, and what type of join I want to add. Just we have mentioned inner join. I want to perform inner join. Okay, on which table you want to perform? I want to perform on customer address table. On which field you want to perform? On customer ID. I want to perform on customer ID equals to customer ID. See, if I try to run, right, as I mentioned, here I haven't mentioned the alias, it will throw some ambiguous error because the database can't identify like from which field comes from which table. So we need to add the alias. See, ambiguous column name, the customer ID and modified date. It will throw the error. Okay. Now what I will do here also, let me show you customer ID. Anyhow, I have selected customer ID, control Z. I will select this customer ID, and here also I will place it here. See, now what we have to do to skip this error, here we have something like alias, right? Here as you have to display something like a cust, and here you have to add something like as CAD. Just for now, I have added something like a CAD. And here what I will do, I will add it here, CAD dot. And here for cust, I will add that here. Do you think the ambiguous error is resolved? Can anyone answer? Ambiguous error is resolved or not? If I run this, whether I will get the ambiguous error or not? Can anyone guess?
Yeah, we will get the error.
Why? What's the reason?
The column name should be with alias name.
Here, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it must be. See, whenever the column displays in both the tables, right? Then here also you mention that alias from where you want to select that. Just for now, what I will do, I will place cust dot. Now we won't see that error. I think the name style is not exist. The address type is not exist, and the modified date is exist. Now I want to select the modify date from another table dot. Now let me run. See, we are getting some data now from both the tables. See, address type is not exist in customer table. You can see, right? This table is not exist here. This field is not exist here. This field exists here. And whenever you want to club two or more tables and you want to see some data, for that we will use these joins and we will club the full data. See, like basically we will have n number of child tables in the real-time case, n number of child tables, and all these child tables we will club and we will generate one report which is required. And like there will be for each and every field there will be some transformations on field level. For example, like I want some costs, like cost of goods sold, based upon some product, for example. And like you want to do some conversion based upon like for each and every country they're maintaining some there will be some different currency IDs, right? And different prices will be there, and all those prices needs to be maintained in one unique. And the unique in a sense, like we have something like the USD. And what we will do, we will take one field as a conversion rates, and like we will convert, we will perform, we will multiply the cost of goods sold with the conversion rate of that particular country, and so that we will get some unique data, and that data will be displayed in the COGS, something like that. And whatever the data was displayed, and that data must be in USD, something like that, because so many requirements will be there in the real-time cases. Okay, this is all about the inner join. What this inner join will do, whatever the fields are matching, and based upon this ID, and that field will be displayed here. That data will be displayed, only the matching data. Now we have something like left. For example, I have this left, right? I have this left. And what if I select this left, right? See, here I am using something like inner. Inner means wherever these two fields matches, then that data will be displayed. And here, like in left, right? If I put something like left, what this left will do, it will take all the data from the left side, all the data from the left side, and we are selecting few fields from the right table as well. We are selecting few fields from the right table as well, and we are performing the customer ID. And wherever it finds, whenever the data matches, the customer ID equals to customer ID, only that data will be displayed for these fields, for the customer address fields, and rest fields will be displayed as a null. Okay, the rest fields will be displayed as a null. The non-matching fields will be displayed as a null. Let me run this. And previously we have something like 417. We will see how many records we'll get. See, now we got something around 857. The record count got increased, right? See, let me run this. How many records we have in the customer table? We have 847. And whenever I am doing inner, the matching field count was reducing. Total 847. And out of 847, and whenever I am doing some inner, I am getting record count, the matching row count, something around 417. 417 is the matching count out of 847. And whenever I place something like left, now what it is giving, it is taking full data from this table. It is taking full data from this table. See, 857. Previously placed as a 857 only. There was some typo mistake. Okay, and see, wherever the data is not matching, right, that data we are getting something like null here. Okay, and now I will add something like this where address type equals is not null. Just I'll put some this condition. See, again we are getting only 470. Okay, see, just now I mentioned, right, whatever the data is matching, only that data will be mapped here. That data will be captured as a matching data will be added here, and rest of the fields will be added as a null. Okay, is that clear? What is the difference between inner and right, left? I will just replace this left with right. Now that count is going to change. Now I am not going to put this where class. See, now we are getting something around 470. Let me see like what is the count in this table. Select star from. Let me select what is the count in this. See, we have around 470 on records. So whenever I am adding some right, all the data will be selected. All the data will be selected. And I think I can't see any nulls here because we have full data here. We may not find the null values here. Let me figure it out on the company name. We'll see like whether the nulls are exist or not. As per my knowledge, like we can't see any nulls. Is null. We'll put something like is null. Stuff is not. See, we don't have any nulls because like full data is exist in the right table, and whatever the data is exist in here, and all the data will be selected from the right table, the company address table, and whatever the whatever the matching records are exist in the left side, left in the sense the customer is the left now. Okay, in this table, and that data will be become as a null. Only that like wherever it is not matching on basis of the customer ID, that data will be marked as a null. Okay, and we have something like outer is something like similar to left only because all the data will be selected. Just I will add only this one. Yeah, see, we are getting around 852. As I mentioned, it works similar to the left only. The outer will work similar to the left, and whatever the matching records is there, and that matching records will mark it as a. It'll take full data from the right like left table, and rest of the table will mark it as a null wherever it is not matching. It will work similar to the left only.